Oh my goodness. It's finally here. We get to talk about functions! Yes! Functions! Oh no, wait. You gotta know some other things first. We'll lead up to that. Trust me. My excitement is still palpable. Remember, we were talking about sets a couple different times. Groups of elements. And we're gonna have these tall, skinny sets to work with. We're going to be referring to this type of picture. And in particular, this is going to be like the beginning set, and then this will be the ending set. Remember, a set can be filled with elements, and these elements can be anything. We're normally looking at numbers when it comes to math, but again, they can be anything. So, like, they can be names of people: Alice, Hepzibah, Cornelius, and Fred. Yes, I know someone whose name is Fred spelled like that. He's the guitarist for Gwen Stefani, I think. He went to the same school I went to. We can call this first set like the people set. And then over here, this is going to be like their ages. 7, 14,000. 22. So let's say Alice is 22. Hepzibah is 14,000 years old. Cornelius is 7 years old. And Fred is also 7 years old. This sort of relationship, this sort of connecting the dots from one set to another is called a relation. This just shows like how two sets are related to each other based off of certain information that you were given about the sets. There's obviously more people than just these people in the world, and there's obviously more age values, I don't know. But I guess these are the only people that we're concerned with, and these are the ages that we're concerned with. So that's a relation. A mapping between two things, two sets, and they're connected in certain ways. So let's look at something a little bit more robust. Instead of the beginning set and the ending set, they have proper vocab names. The beginning set is called the domain. The domain is the set that has all of the elements that we're to learn more information about. The set of elements that have all of the kind of answers to our mapping question. A mapping meaning like, we're going from here to there, we're drawing lines between dots. This is called the range. You might hear words like domain and codomain, image, pre-image. If it makes sense, we'll get to them, but they're kind of specific. We're only really going to be looking at domain as the beginning set, range as the ending set. A function is a specific type of relation. A function. One and only one element in the range is hit. I keep saying hit because I'm thinking like an arrow. Like, these are lines connected together, but I like to think of them as like every element in the domain is an arrow, is an archer, and then they're looking at the targets in the range, and they can shoot their arrow, and then that's their mapping. But the idea is that every archer in the domain can only have one arrow to shoot. The targets can be hit multiple times, but the archers can only shoot one arrow apiece. So A gets mapped to 3, B gets mapped to 2, C gets mapped to 3, and 1, and D gets mapped to 1. Oh, hey, that's exactly the same relation that we had over here. Turns out I made a function here. This is a function because every one of the elements in the domain only has one arrow coming out of it. Only has one line coming out of it. As you can see, this 1 here, number 7 here, was hit multiple times. That's okay. That can still be a function. What we are trying to avoid is exactly right here. There are two arrows coming out of the same point here. So that's like saying there's someone that has two separate ages at the same time. That doesn't really make any sense. Again, multiple people can be the same age. So this is not a function. That is not a function. No, this is. This is fine. So really get that idea of that definition of a function down solid. It's just really important to get that specific, that everything in the domain gets mapped to one and only one element in the range. You can't have two arrows coming out of... Yeah, I've said that. Hey, Penelope, I know, I'm repeating myself. Go away.